Did you all know that the nation of Uganda is really an African nation that accepts a lot of refugees? They have an extremely large refugee camp there, and people that are in that camp are from places like the Congo, South Sudan, and a lot of those people want to leave that refugee camp to get to Europe or America or whatever country will accept them. There are several refugee settlements in Uganda. I don't know if I'll be pronouncing these correctly, but Bidi Bidi refugee settlement, Rhino Camp refugee settlement, Kiryodongo refugee settlement, Nakivala refugee settlement, Kiyangwali refugee settlement. Quite a few I've just named there. If I've not said so, Social Nurse here. Thank you so much for stopping by. Now, President Donald Trump wants foreign nations to take immigrants that are being deported from the United States. Unlawful people, meaning they are not documented. They did not enter the country the correct way. Their visas have expired. Whatever the case is, they are not lawfully in the United States, right? So Uganda agrees to deal with U.S. to take in deported asylum seekers. A Ugandan official said the country would prefer to receive people from African nationalities under the agreement. Well, that's what they prefer, but that may not be what they get. They'll get what Donald Trump sends them. I think we all know that, right? We all know that. Uganda has agreed to take in nationals from third countries who may not get asylum in the United States, but do not wish to return to their countries of origin. Kampala Ministry of Foreign Affairs said. Listen, that's how awful some of these countries are that these people leave. And we get it. God foresaw, but the United States has citizens that are in need. We need to be building mental health hospitals with that money that was given to Sanctuary City unlawful migrants, right? We need to be building facilities for homeless people, right? Some homeless people, they're really hard to control in reference to keeping them off the street, but we need to attempt to build facilities for people in the United States that need it, even just homes. Some people cannot afford their own home. There's all kinds of things that the money that the United States uses for able-bodied males, military age males that flee over to this country, right? It's mostly men. If you've ever seen those refugee boats in the English Channel, mostly men, right? Although there are some women and children. But back to this article, because, Donald Trump, our president, is manhandling these nations. And you know that they really don't want to accept these deportees from the United States. And even though there's a monetary amount of money probably that they're giving Uganda, they don't want to participate. A roughly 1.7 million, Uganda already hosts the largest refugee population in Africa, according to the United Nations, and is the latest East African country to announce such a deal with Washington, joining Rwanda and South Sudan. Listen, don't forget former Swaziland, right? Eswatini, I think. This article I'm referencing is on Al Jazeera. It's dated August 21, 2025, right? So President Museveni, in his administration have caved, right? We know that the Ugandan president's son had gotten into it with the United States ambassador to Uganda. I did a video about that. Now, Al Jazeera's article also states that they're not really clear if the actual deal has been signed. So who really knows? But the announcement of such a deal being in the works comes a day after senior Ugandan officials denied media reports saying that the country had agreed to take in people deported from the United States, saying it lacked the facilities to accommodate them. The United States doesn't care about that. President Trump and Marco Rubio, Pam Bundy, ICE, Stephen Miller, understand this, right? Our borders are Thomas Homan, do not care. See, one of the things is that a lot of these people are just coming here. And many of them don't have skills. They want, they want the government of the United States to take care of them. And the Biden administration is no longer in office, right? I mean, it's a mess. It's sad. But these people are better off going to Uganda instead of that prison in El Salvador, right? They don't want to go to Alligator Alcatraz, right? Right? If they aren't willing to go back to their countries must be really awful, right? And I don't really hear a lot of messiness from Uganda. It's not like Idi Amin is still ruling there, right? We learned about him in school, right? In our schools, right? Expelling those Indians. And, it is what it is. It is what it is. Donald Trump will continue to deport immigrants. Social nurse.